Somebody from the club approached me right before this and asked me what we were going to talk about today, and I told them we were going to talk about 5 minutes, and that's it. So, to start things off, I'd just like to, we're going to do a couple of thank yous here, and the first thank you we're going to talk to is Wendell Johnson. It was a year ago August, I got a telephone call from AJ. And AJ had just gotten off the phone with Wendell and said that we're getting 24 pickleball courts. I know it was August because I dropped the phone and then looked at the calendar to make sure it wasn't April Fool's Day. But, my next phone call was to Wendell, and he had played his cards very close to his chest. We had no idea that he had this planned, and then all of a sudden there was the grand announcement that this was coming. So I was just so excited over the idea of having the premier pickleball facility in the country that all I've been thinking about for a long time. Let me turn this over to Wendell for just 1 second and see what he has to say.
I feel like a gladiator right now. I'm not sure which one I'm going to have to fight. This is pretty spectacular. I know we feel like we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere, but over the next few years, there'll be homes around here, and this will be a community. There'll be a concession stand. There'll be permanent restrooms. There's going to be a community building over on that side of the complex, a Ramada down in this area. And over the next couple of years, you're just going to see this blossom out to be one of the finest facilities in the United States. I'm not going to tell you that it's been easy. It's been a rough summer. We've run into a lot of budgetary constraints. Nothing ever costs what you think it will. So we came up a little short on some of the things that we'd like to have this year. But we're going to work on that. And hopefully this summer we'll start filling in some of the things that we want to have here. But the future, a good part of the future of Palm Creek is the pickleball program. I know that. I'm very aware of that. There are very few things that drive people to a community. As I've told many people in the past, we have people that silversmith, do pottery, do lots of different things once they get here. But typically they don't come here because of that. They pick it up when they get here. But there are things that drive people to a community like this, and pickleball is one of those things. And we think this is going to be terrific for Palm Creek in the future. Otherwise, we wouldn't have done all this. And it's pretty spectacular. When you look at the palm trees, you look at the mountains, there's probably not a finer venue in the United States, and we hope this will meet all your expectations in the future. Thank you very much, and please tell your friends.
Thank you, Wendell. And Wendell is, while I'm saying something, we need Sue Hepler to wander down here. You're going to have to come over to that side. And get that. No. We need you down here.
Come on down.
Yes, by popular demand. What Wendell was saying about wanting a premier facility, that this is the premier facility right now in the country. No place else has 24 courts in one venue. You go to the villages in Florida, they have 120 courts spread over miles and miles and miles. No place has more than 8 courts in one place. St. George has 12 courts. Hopefully one day they think they're going to get 24, but right now nobody has 24 with us. And the one thing I would like to thank Wendell and the people that paid for this is that they listened. AJ and I sat down with them and we said, 7 feet from sideline defense, 7 feet from sideline defense, 10 feet from baseline defense, and they did that. They gave us courts that fit the USAPA dimensions for tournament play, and that's what we wanted. We got Sue Hepler now, and and we were all so thankful to Sue that this summer we were all so anxious about about what was happening with our courts, the building of them, and Sue every day was out here taking pictures, shooting video, writing it up, putting it on the blog. I don't know how many hours she spent keeping us all informed. How many hits did you have this year?
Oh, I haven't added them, but there would be between 400 and 500 every day.
Amazing, amazing. So, in appreciation for what Sue did, we can't ever repay her for all the hours, but we thought a card and a gift certificate to a nice restaurant for her and Don to go have a nice meal on us would be the least we could do for her. So we'll get it for her.
Oh.
Turns out the blog does not pay well.
No, it doesn't at all. But there was somebody else in that cart with me every day at 110 degrees and behind another camera. So there he is. Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you, Don. Okay, when I said talk about 5 minutes, how do we do? That's all the talking we're going to do. Okay. What we're going to do right now is we're going to start the first game, the first official game on these courts. And I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 players, including myself, to start the first game. And then what we envision is something like a wedding on the first dance, that we will get this court started, and then I want every one of you to go grab your paddle, go grab a court, and everybody get to play a first game on one of the courts. 24 courts, 4 players per court, 96 of you can fit out there. We ought to be able to take care of it.
You might mention one.
Yes. And why these players are here for the first game. First of all, as you know, AJ was the president, the previous president before me. AJ spent a lot of time pounding Wendell for more courts. He did a marvelous job. He got us from 8 to 12. I got him from 12 to 24. But AJ laid a lot of the groundwork. He helped convince Wendell, who was able to convince the owners and investors that this was a worthwhile investment and if there would be a money return for him. Wayne Kennedy here has been a board member in the past. He was a vice president, and the reason I asked Wayne to partake in this is he told me a story last year about sitting there when we had 4 courts, and 3 times a day he'd come down and document the number of pickleball players we had, the number of tennis players we had, and keep a sheet and be able to go in and show management, say, hey, look at pickleball is only got 4 courts, we need more, tennis isn't using this stuff, and he did a good job.
And there's still not.
And then Rosemary is going to play the first game with us too. I feel like I do a lot for this club, but nobody does more for this club than Rosemary does. But if she was not part of this club, I'm convinced it would fall apart. I get emails from her that it shows the time at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and that she's always doing something with the blog, something keeping records. There's always something she's doing. But I think we need to recognize Rosemary and let her play the first game. So with no further ado, we're going to get 4 of us out. We're going to play a couple of points, and then we'll want everybody to scatter and go play a game. Thank you for coming down.
Did anybody tell AJ there's a dress code?